Extreme Foolishness TV here. How are you guys doing? Man, it's been a long week, man. I just got this new teacup. It says it's a beautiful day to save lives. I don't know, can you guys see it? It's a beautiful day to save lives. Kind of like this. Hopefully the camera gets it. The focus is on. Get it, camera. Get it, camera. There you go. This Extreme Foolishness TV. This is where I talk about extreme foolishness that goes on around you. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video, and hit the bell so that anytime I upload videos, you will be in the know. Today I'll be talking to you guys about this Kevin Samuels video where he told this lady that she would die alone. This may be a little bit long video because I'm going to be breaking a lot of stuff down. I'll be talking about the extreme foolishness part, what I feel about it. Because I watched the video. It's been viewed over 1 million times on Wall Star Hip Hop. So I'll just give you guys my take on it. I'll probably play some portions of the video. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can watch the entire video if you want to. But pretty much, Kevin Samuels is, I guess, a dating coach, a self-proclaimed dating coach. You know, if you go to your coach or to a doctor or whatever, you want to hear the truth. He has this show where he talks about relationship and he gives relationship advice. He has a reputation for being brutally honest and blunt. And I guess that is his style. Well, this lady called Kevin Samuels asking for relationship advice. This lady is a 35-year-old woman with a 13-year-old son, I believe. She makes six figures. I think she lives in North Carolina. She makes six figures. She owns a pet grooming business. But she wants to date a guy that makes at least six figures. Six figures and up in North Carolina. She's been having a hard time pulling this kind of man. And she's called Kevin Samuels for relationship advice. And Kevin Samuels gave her a dose of reality. First of all, a lot of people are focusing on the particular phrase where Kevin Samuels says, "You will die alone." But that's taking it out of context. If you watch the entire video and digest the entire spirit of the video, you will know that Kevin Samuels was actually giving this lady a relationship advice. She has been having problems getting a guy who makes six figures and up in North Carolina. And Kevin asked her, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you look? She said, when she wakes up, she's a 5.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would
That's
you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
what I rate myself.
Just your face.
My face when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay.
Once she puts her weave, eyelashes, lipstick, foundation, and all that stuff, she's a 6. So when she's all put together, she's a 6. But she feels that because she makes six figures, she needs or she deserves a guy who makes six figures. And Kevin was trying to tell her, hey, you look at best average, and that your expectations may be a little bit too high. You need to lower your expectations and look for a guy that's just average. She said no, she just feels like she cannot submit to a man who doesn't make six figures. And it's like, hold on. If you go to a coach to ask for relationship advice and you cannot hear the truth, would you rather want somebody who tells you what you want to hear or what you need to hear? And sometimes a lot of women, for example, will see a lady who's like 300 pounds, obese, overweight. She's going to have all these health problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, it's very poor, and they'll keep saying, "Oh, you're so pretty. You look beautiful just the way you are." Instead of telling this, like, "Hey, you're beautiful, but you need to lose some weight. That's not good." So sometimes you just have to be honest with people. If that kind of lady went to meet a doctor, you don't want the doctor saying, "Well, you look beautiful just the way you are." You need to tell the patient, "Hey, you're overweight. You have high blood pressure. You need to stop the bad habits that you have, and you need to start picking up these good habits." It's the same thing here. He told her, you need to set your expectations to a more realistic mode and stop the extreme foolishness. And that just because you make this amount of money in North Carolina does not think that makes you eligible to date a guy that makes this kind of money. And that men do not really care about how much she makes. But she could not accept that reality. She just said she could not submit to a guy who makes less than six figures.
And you're making. I mean, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
Sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in
Well,
control.
then you're gonna die alone. How about?
And Kevin Samuels trying to explain to her that, hey, if you worked at a post office, this same person, you wouldn't be saying this stuff. That the only reason you're saying is that makes you feel like you're better than guys who do not make six figures is just because you make six figures or more. And she could not digest that. She could not accept that. And he said, "Hey, you know what? You're going to die alone." Because at that age, having a child, the chances of meeting a guy who makes that kind of money is very, very slim to none. And those kind of men will usually go for someone who's really, really attractive or maybe younger. And she had a rebuttal to everything he said. Like, okay, the 20-year-old girls or young girls are not attracted to the 40-something-year-old man and blah, blah, blah. And Kevin said no, he could not beat that off with a stick. So, I mean, you just have a situation where it appears he's giving her advice, relationship advice, and she doesn't want to accept it. And people are beating Kevin Samuels down like he said she's going to die alone, as if she cannot find any man. He never said that. He just said, hey, you need to lower your expectations and look for an average guy that is more within your league. It will be the same thing. Like, you see a guy, say a guy called Kevin Samuels and say, you know what? I'm 5'1". I make minimum wage, but I want a Beyonce looking chick who's 5'10", glamorous, and has this beautiful body. That is unrealistic. The chances of a 5'1", a guy who's 5, no disrespect to guys who are 5'1". I'm just using this as an illustration. The chances of a guy who's 5'1", who makes minimum wage, to bag a woman who's like 5'8" or 5'9", Beyonce looking, gorgeous, is extremely low. That is just life. That is just reality. That guy needs to lower his expectations. Same thing here. In the same vein, this applies here. Her expectations may be a little bit too high. Obviously, it's not working, so she may just have to adjust her expectations, or maybe she may maybe she may die alone. That's Kevin Samuels' advice as I guess, dating coach or dating expert or whatever he calls himself. But hey, that's just what I think. I don't think that there were disparaging comments on her. I just feel like there were advice. Sometimes advice. The truth is bitter, people. The truth is not sweet like this lemon ginger tea. The truth is always bitter. No sugar. And some people do not like the bitter taste of the truth. And Extreme Foolishness TV here, we have to talk about the foolishness. So this woman here is on some extreme foolishness stuff, thinking that she's 35 with a 13-year-old because she makes six figures automatically entitles her to a guy who makes a lot of money. Right? And she feels like she cannot submit to average guys or guys who make less than six figures. Right? That's her problem. But for every action you take, there's a consequence for it. That's all I have to say for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Was Kevin Samuels a little bit too brutally honest? Or do you think he was harsh on her? Do you think he said anything wrong? Just let me know what you guys feel in the comments. As always, like, share, subscribe. It helps the channel. And as usual, say no to extreme foolishness.